Okay, build charge, pre-fight, bubble aggression, mid-fight, slight split off angles as the fight evolves, and don't be a nincompoop. Let me spell nincompoop for you. Nincompoop. Don't be one. That's gonna be my autobiography. Nincompoop. Don't be one. Okay. Nice. 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 Good. I'm loving these bubbles, man. Getting some charge from the Pharah. You didn't bubble your Reinhardt immediately because he looked like he was about to get run on, so you waited till they were like within swinging distance. Now, you guys remember the Zarya, the Vadari we did with the old man Deku the other day? Don't tell him I called him that. And basically, like pre-fight, you bubble as quickly as you can. As soon as you see damage, you look for damage and try and bubble your Rein. But there's no. This is like the fight starting. Your Rein's kind of too aggressive. It's like bang, the fight's going right now. So this bubble needs to hit right now, right? You can't bubble early just for charge because then your Rein's gonna get run on. I don't know why you reloaded at 44 ammo. So if you guys have watched any of Temporal's Zarya VOD reviews, you guys know Coach Temporal, right? He hammers over and over again. He's really good at catching Zaryas that reload too often. And holy moly, there are a lot of them. It's like the Mercy being lazy with pocketing, or Reinhardt not clearing high ground, or Genji's like dashing in too much. It is like the quintessential Zarya error is to reload whenever you didn't need to. And like right now, 40 charge, 50. Why the heck are you reloading? The fight is starting now. It's not like, oh, the fight's about to start. No. Why are you reloading? Why are you reloading again? Like, there's stuff going on. So phenomenal bubbles. You hit the ironically, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. The idea is this: the team fight's not starting. I'm just poking out from a million miles away. As I see the enemy team push up, or my team pushes up, there's a difference between doing spam damage like this, where I may or may not do a little bit of chip damage, probably not, you know, and me going into the middle of a team fight, right? Oh no, stuff is happening. Here we go. Oh, we're going crazy. Oh wow, it's insane. Wow, wild, right? And I want a full clip, preferably as the actual crazy team fight starts. So what you do is you spam. Okay, I've got the training bot, you know, whatever. Okay, spamming. Uh-oh, here comes the training bot. We're about to start. Okay, reload, and I'm in it. You see what I'm saying? So I make sure I reload right as I anticipate the team fight like really getting down. You know what I'm saying? Like right before I anticipate it getting down. You were reloading as the fight was already starting. Like the fight was already going. There was actual melee combat going on around you, and you're still reloading. You weren't even moving behind cover. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna spam this here. Okay, I gotta move over here, so reload. All right, now I've got a full clip. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It was just, you're just gonna reload just because. And that's what needs to stop. When you're in the middle of a fight, there is no reason to reload, because all it does is it significantly impacts your DPS. And Zaryas do this all the time. And it's especially bad with Zaryas because once you're high charge, you should be min-maxing your damage output. Would love for you to also start high ground as well, because you know this Pharah is going to be contesting high ground, and you can stand up here and beam her. And then she'll also start to spam you, and there's your early, easy charge. Remember, chat, there is no benefit to being stacked with your Reinhardt as Zarya, outside of the fact that it is easier for you to bubble, and easier for you to build charge by absorbing fire strikes and stuff that is meant for your Reinhardt. Here, I think the high ground here is so important that it's important, even if you get split from your Reinhardt early on, I would go high ground. I would absolutely go high ground. But like, you see what I'm saying? Like, your soldier, this is how you win this fight, is through this. Like, I'm not gonna harp on a high ground over and over and over again for you guys, but seriously though, please start high ground. You can always drop. Get on the high ground whenever you can. Chat, remember, you get on high ground, but you still bubble your Rein. You can bubble your Rein, you can support your Rein, you can put pressure from this angle here without being stacked. Like, honestly, you already did this. You already showed me that you could do this. Think about this. You got charge. They push your Rein. As they push your Rein, you shot them in the back. You see this? And that actually helped your Rein. Like right here, that little right click there makes the Rein swing, or shield. And what does that do? That takes a lot of pressure off of your Rein. It also means that the Pharah can't go as aggressive because she's going to get beamed. But you see, kind of see what we're saying, chat? There's the right click, reload, right click, reload. Totally fine here because we're approaching a team fight. So you want to make sure that you have a full clip right now. But reloading now would be a mistake. So let's see what we do. Good bubble with aggression. Good bubble. More aggression. But do you see, like, again here, why are you reloading here? Get another right click in. Get some more beam in. You know, this is damage. This is a team fight. This damage counts. Don't reload. Again, another reload here. Use your full clip. Right click, right click, right click, or beam. Something like that. Again, bubbling aggression. Very good. Peel a little bit for your Rhine. So generally we don't love stacking with your Rhine here, but you peeled a little bit for your Rhine, and again, there's no real, not again, but there is no real angle for you to take here, so this is understandable. Back off, please. Save your bubble. Save it. Save it. Save it. Oof, that was very aggressive. It's a little bit of a risky angle there, because you had no cover. Look for damage. You need to build charge. Good bubble. Good bubble. Now save your personal. Woohoo! Again, let's look at your reloads. Good projected. It meets damage and aggression, so that fills both of the criteria. You don't even need to get pressure out of this one. Well, you would like to, but you absolutely get it, so that's great. You're a little tunneled on main, though. This is what's more scary to you. So again, do you kind of see how, like, your mentality is still like, I help Ryan, I help Ryan, I help Ryan, I help Ryan, I'll help Ryan. That's not so good. So right here, bubble, good. But your Ryan is fine. This is what's scary to you and your Reinhardt, because that's gonna lose. He's gonna lose his support if that McCree gets value. You need to deal with this, and this is great for you because this is the short sight line. Muscle memory set to 75 instead of 100. Yeah, it certainly feels like it. But you walk into the Zarya, and now guess what that McCree now has for free? That's what scares me. That's what really scares me. Again, another 75 ammo reload. Mid-fight. Look at this Zarya. Look at this Rhine. Your downtime on your actual DPS output is really, really, really high. And your uptime is really low. You guys lose high ground. This is not looking good. Yeah, so like ultimately things are kind of chaotic here, but the big thing is that once again you're getting sucked into main here when you have people who are like, if the entire enemy team is here, then you're gonna, even then you still would not get sucked in here. You would stay right here and you just lob right clicks in the backline. Bubble your Rhine, lob right clicks in the backline. Bubble your Rhine, lob right clicks in the backline. Because you don't give a rip about the Rhine. Let the Rhine just go swing on your Rhine. You don't care. You'll bubble them for peel, and then you'll make that backline. It's a bad woman right there. You'll prevent that backline from ever supporting their Rhine. So this Rhine will get no healing, no support, no damage, no follow-up at all. And they'll all be tunneled right in front of your Rhine shield, which is a terrible position for them to be. Instead, you bubble, great. You completely ignore the high ground, which instantly ends up killing you guys. Because look at what happens from here. Instantly forces lamp because of the high ground. Forces your soldier out of position. Now you guys are all clumped up, and look what they do. Do you see this? This is your fault. It really was. It really was. You had a short, like, obviously if the Heinen's like over here, I mean that's too far away, right? But he walked right through you. He walked right through you. He can't go through a door, man. It's your high charge Zarya. A high charge Zarya can 1v1, I think, anything in Overwatch. I don't think there's a single hero in Overwatch that can 1v1 a high charge Zarya at that range. I don't even know if Reaper can. You could 2v1 a lot of heroes here, especially when you had your team support, which you did. So yeah, the reload and you have this tendency that you want to like suck in with your Rhine over and over again. Suck in with your Rhine. Sem. For sure. And you're not really doing like the body blocking with bubble is such a minor thing. It is a really minor thing. That's something that I think a lot of coaches have done a really bad job talking about, because I think a lot of coaches talk too much about it. I mean, chat, how many times have you heard, you know, you cycle your bubbles, you bubble your Rhine, and then you bubble your Zarya, and you bubble yourself and step in front of your Rhine and basically escort him out? How many times have you guys heard that? Yeah, people say that all the time. And in all actuality, it really is not a good way to play Zarya. It's not, because ultimately it means that you have to stack with your Rein, which means your overall pressure output is lower because you're stuck shooting Rein's shield. You have a good shield break, and if you've got nothing else to shoot, absolutely burn Rein's shield. But it's a lot better, especially once you're charged, to start right-clicking backline. Like, if you guys ever find GOATs matchups from the San Francisco Shock, watch how he who shall not be named played Zarya on San Francisco Shock. Watch how he positioned himself. And that will teach you a lot about how to play Zarya, especially once he who shall not be named was charged. There's a lot of high grounds. A lot of high ground Zarya. There was a lot of angle Zarya. Because in GOAT's mirrors, right, high charge Zarya on backline, that's that helps your Rein way more than body blocking with personal bubble. Because if you're forcing armor packs on that Zenyatta, Lucio, Brig backline, right, and you're forcing the Lucio to go boop you instead of your Rein, or the D.Va has to booster after you, or like that is a lot of pressure, right? That's how you played Zarya in GOATs. That's how you play Zarya, period. Now, the only reason that we don't have Zarya splitting off that far all the time is because Zarya is not very mobile and she's not very long ranged. So you generally want to split, but you can't split very far. Like, we just coached Reaper, right? Remember how Reaper was all like the very short, tight angles, and if you flanked, you could flank, but then you went right back to your team? Kind of how Zarya plays. You don't have a TP, but shorter angles, shorter flanks. This right here, your Rein's here, you're here, this is perfect. Short sight line, you're not completely isolated, your team can see you, you're playing like where you can out-brawl people. Where does White Snake need to go? Where does White Snake need to go? Right here. Or right here. Right? Way more pressure you can put here. Or around. Your team can still support you. Right? Your Mercy can still support you. Your Lucio can still support you. But this stacking a 6 through a choke, like, I'm honestly surprised that this isn't like an 11-minute VOD, and we get full hull by far here. But get off of main. Do you see it? Like, do you feel the chaos too? We talked about this with the Genji VOD earlier and how it like relates to D.Va. But do you feel confused? Do you feel confused right now? Do you feel confused? You didn't think they were going to recontest, right? But you better be safe than sorry. This is confusing, man. Like, I don't know. It's so hard to track what's going on and like to actually put out decent damage. And that's because you're putting yourself in the thick of things. Like, really, a lot of Overwatch is just like getting out of the thick of things and being a spectator, so you can pick and choose who you want to shoot and how you want to use your abilities. That's the goal. That's why map control is so important, right? And you can just feel the chaos of that fight and how it was really hard. Like, I'm not going to coach you on your bubble usage there. I'm not going to coach you on your reloads there. I mean, maybe we could look at your... Actually, you know what? Let's look at the reloads, because I am curious about that. But everything else, like, your right click versus left click and your bubble usage, like, it's chaos. It's really hard for you to make those decisions in the heat of the moment. So I don't blame you if you mess up a few bubbles. Reload at 30. Well, he's bubbled, so I'll give you a pass. Reload at 61, even though there's a Pharah and Zarya directly in front of you. So yeah, the reload wasn't great there either. This is again a situation where I would have been thrilled for you to be up here. Bubble your Rein in and just hold this up here. This McCree cannot push your McCree if you're on high ground. And not only that, but this gives you a perfect opportunity to deepen here, and you can like grab backline instead of just grabbing Rein shield. Another, let's check the reload. Reload check, posture check, reload check. 75 HP, or 75 ammo. 60 ammo, 75 ammo, bubble, 70 ammo, 48 ammo, oh, full ammo, let's go, 26 ammo. Nice. It's brilliant, boys. Okay, we've had some fun, but sadly it's time to go. It is time to say goodbye to our Plat Zarya friend and walk away with some feedback. All right, so your bubble usage kind of like devolved over the course of the fight. So honestly, I just think you need some reps on it, but I don't think it's something that like I would prioritize with you. From what we saw, like that would have a bigger impact on your play, at least an easier impact, is I want you to experiment more with splitting from your Rhine just a wee bit. Like on high grounds, on a slight angle here and there, just so that you can min-max your output of damage and avoid just shooting into Rhine shield. And you can do a better job of clearing high grounds and protecting your team that way as well. That plus, holy mackerel, check your privilege and check your reloads, son. A lot of reloading mid-fight. Reloading pre-fight, totally fine. Reloading while moving from point A to point B behind cover, totally fine, dude. Reloading when the enemy team is using bubbles and you're not going to be wanting to do damage anyway, totally fine, dude. But when there's mid-fight and there's stuff actually happening, you probably were putting 60% of the damage that you should have been putting out. That's a big percentage chunk. And that happened a bunch of times too.